Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome. Let me just be a phlegmy for a moment here. All right, I'm back. As we're getting going, I wanted to share with you. I had two wonderful experiences last week. One was of seeing a friend of ours in a one-woman show that was just really, really fabulous. But on Sunday, a couple of friends of mine and I went to the movies for me, in our local here in Ojai. We had a playhouse that was out of commission for 8 years. It got flooded, and then, it took forever. It was like the California freeway, taking forever to get fixed, but it got fixed. And we went to see a movie that I so want to recommend to you. It's called The Sheep Detectives. And it was... I just had an impulse to go. I see some of these things going by, but I just had an impulse to go to this one. And I was telling Michelle, it's of babe level quality. It's just wonderful. So if you want something to just open your heart and let you know that life still really works and that people care, and, go see The Sheep Detective. So in the meantime, it occurred to me, one of the things I'm noticing, and I've noticed it for a few months now, but it seems even more accelerated right now. If you hear squawking, we have a peacock. And the peacock may actually be on the top of my studio. And so we have critters welcoming the critters. I think it is on top of this. So I've noticed that there's such a wobble going on right now that, like, if I put something down, it literally moves. If I put my cane down, it falls over. If I go to reach for something, there's this going on. So my sense is that putting our loop of awareness together with easy breathing will be a way that you can create coherence for yourself, create a tuning fork, but also create a coming together of your awareness and your actions. Because they're, it's really, this one was actually a little bit of a symphony up there. It's going like, I want you to pay attention to me. Let's just all loop with the peacock for a moment. So you're feeling your own well-being and then wishing well-being he's up on top of this. And you can't come in, but you can just crow and let everybody know this is sort of a king on the mountain thing, because our getting up on top of the studio, you can see for miles. So this is an example of what I'm talking about is, whatever you're trying to do, there's all kinds of stuff going on. What I've noticed for me is if I bring my attention and my breathing together, that it's much easier for me to locate myself. It's much easier for me to presence myself in the midst of all of this, total. I think it's at the level now where the world, our earth, is affected by the wobbles. And so for us to support ourselves and support each other in navigating through here, what I want to suggest to you is that when you land your breath in you, when you land your attention in you and you land your breath in you, there's a I've been focusing more on completing my out breath. So bring your attention to notice some place in your body. It may be however it's speaking to you. And let yourself land in it. I think of it as sort of a benign trampoline. Let yourself land in it and let your breath land in that place in your body. So my attention went to my sacrum, and I'm letting my attention land there I'm on a swapper right now, which is a chair that's really a spring, and so I get built-in movement whenever I want to, and I think we can create that built-in like sinking into that place and spreading out with your breath and your attention. When I do that, I notice that I can create a pause, a genuine sense of spaciousness. Rather than there's such a right now that you can get caught up in it without even realizing it, and you're sort of down the block before you've realized that you've been captured. So letting yourself notice what's something around you, something out there that draws your attention, noticing it, and letting your attention and your breath land. And when I do that, I can feel my vision. It kind of glows a little bit. It kind of spreads out a little bit around what I'm noticing. And then bringing my attention back to me. And we're practicing. Of course, your attention is going to go much faster than this generally. But part of what I experience as the power of our practice is that just given this chance to slow everything down and to notice how I actually transition from noticing me to noticing out there. And if I bring my breath with that, what I notice is a spaciousness. I move from time into space. And just having that practice will give me a new default to return to during the day. So letting yourself again notice a different sensation. My attention went to my heels. I just got a little fright because the peacock flew off of he's pretty big. Oh, actually that's a peahen. Getting fat in the springtime, jumped off and created a little wobble. And so a little part of my brain went, earthquake. And so I had so it was a great illustration of how life then, I'm practicing and then life happens. And then, I can come back to my circulating my attention. So for me, that was a great illustration of no matter how centered we think we are, life happens. We have someone who broke her wrist today. So are you still with us? Yeah. So stuff is going to happen, and for me, returning to this lovely, it's sort of like tossing. There's just a gentle tossing of my attention, landing it with my breath, tossing my attention, landing it with my breath. I have a beautiful plumeria out on the side of the house that's a pink plumeria. And I just sent my attention to that. It's beginning to bloom. And so I'm landing in that, landing in my breath, letting that reverberate in me. The sense of space, the sense of beauty, and then coming back to a different place in you. Letting yourself land with your noticing, landing with your breathing. So already, just from those few, I can feel myself slowing down. I can feel myself more horizontal rather than, vertical and now I want to invite you to let your attention go to someone on the call. Just noticing, letting your attention land on them and your breath. So when I do that, I get a sense of letting my attention support you, and then letting my attention come back to me and support me. When my attention came back, landed in my belly, my low belly, and I'm getting a little belly, sort of a belly wiggle jiggle that's wanting to happen. So I'm going to let that happen now with my breath. And what you're creating is flow. So there's so much going on right now that I think takes us out of the present, and this is when it's easy to fall, it's easy to bump into things, it's easy to drop things. So this is a way of creating safety rather than going into a protective mode. Because when you go protective, you're going to be noticing much less. You're not going to be matching the speed of what's going on. But if you let your attention shift, so let your attention shift to someone else on the call and letting your attention go on into them and your breath and landing and noticing. And I know I'm noticing as I'm doing that, I'm already receiving the nourishment of what I'm seeing and sensing. So you can bring your attention back to you, noticing where that's landing in you, and letting your breath land. And then just take a moment to let your hands, one of the ways I like to create the tossing is with my hands. So I can be having my attention going out, and I can also, because I've been practicing for a while, I can let my attention come to me also. So I can be responding with my breath, with my noticing, with touch, that I'm just gently tossing one direction and the other. And then letting your breath on your out breath, just letting whatever whatever sound is wanting to come. So I have a card that's going to continue what we've just been practicing. So if you can show the card, I'm going to read to you from the card, which says breathe on one side. So
it's doing the weird thing again. It'll just take a sec.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm noticing that tech is a little slower. Like even when I'm switching from television to streaming, it's a little slower. Yeah, tech stuff. And if you can't find it, we can just hold it up. Okay, so in the meantime, let's see. How about you hold yours up to the camera, and I'm going to read from it. So hold it way up, yeah, so people can see it. And yeah, so letting your attention go into, and then coming back to you. Landing and breathing. There we go. Okay. I let my belly relax on the in-breath and allow the in-breath to roll over into the out-breath without pausing. I let my back gently arch with the in-breath and round with the out-breath as I fill my body with breath like filling a bottle from the bottom up. So I'm going to read those two again. I let my belly relax on the in-breath and allow the in-breath to roll over into the out-breath without pausing. I let my back gently arch with the in-breath and round with the out-breath as I fill my body with breath like filling a bottle from the bottom up. And my spine moves easily like seaweed in water as I let a full in-breath and out-breath refresh and renew me. My spine moves easily like seaweed in water as I let a full in-breath and out-breath refresh and renew me. So the three aspects of the breathing that's going to really support your landing and letting your breath land is to let your belly relax on the in-breath and to let your in-breath roll right over into the out-breath. Because one of the places that we hold fear is at the top of the in-breath. There's that. So if you let, like, I like to think of it as a baby roller coaster. If you let your in-breath just roll right on over into the out-breath, that really supports the ease in your breathing. And if you let your spine move, because when we're stuck, I find that when I'm stuck, my spine doesn't move. And if I just let my spine move with my breathing, those three things will allow you to let your breath be really a source of nourishment, of centering, of coherence, and bringing your action together with your consciousness. So I invite you to use that tossing of your noticing along with your coming home to your breathing. Your breathing is probably the quickest way that you can move from being scared or being disoriented to presencing yourself again. So I thought that would be a great card for us for this week when we're in the middle of so much going on. So let's come on back to the big group. Hello again, and to find which of those is the easiest for you as an entryway in, because you're probably not going to remember all three. So for me, moving, since I'm a mover, moving is the easiest. So if I feel my breath moving, that really helps me to get my consciousness with my breathing. But moving any place that isn't moving, but especially your spine. Your spine is what really allows you to keep your maximum aliveness, your maximum youthing yourself. So, but it may be for you just noticing, oh, I held my breath. So letting your breath roll over into the out breath, having that sense of with your breath rather than with your breath can also make a change in your in how bringing your action and your consciousness together. So let's look at Presence Connect Play, which hopefully is going to work for us. We've been having a little tech stuff with our Presence Connect Play. Going to refresh. Love this. So here's another wonderful way to presence. Find your feet. Find your feet. When I've asked people to do that, like in a seminar, when I say find your feet, there are at least several people who will be looking for them. So they will be finding their feet from the outside. I'd like you to find your feet from the inside. So when you find your feet and you let your breath extend really all the way into your feet, just notice how that grounds you. I've got somebody is here is making sounds. So if you're not muted, if you could just mute yourself for a second. So finding your feet, letting your breath find your feet. I'm letting my breath exhale through my feet. That's fun. But I find that, in the midst of it, particularly if I'm feeling somewhat chaotic, finding my feet is an instantaneous way to presence. So let yourself just, think about something that is bothering you right now, or something that you have to do today, or say, okay, and then just notice how that affects you, and then just take a moment and find your feet. So in the midst of all that, for me, it's almost like a humming, finding my feet. I feel connected to the earth. There's a sense of, I can source my safety. So finding your feet is really it's a very effective, very quick way to presence yourself. That is to get here. Because you're going to be pulled. I think we have an accelerated pull in all kinds of different directions right now. So presencing, connecting, and playing, I think is going to be very valuable for all of us right now. And connect, it says loop and shift your attention. So I just want you to know, I did not make this happen. This is our technology getting into sync with us, which I actually think we can influence technology with our consciousness, and not so much the other way around. So looping. So the basic instruction is just shift the other direction. So if you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling disoriented, or you're in a pause, you don't quite know what to do next, shifting your attention will really assist you to connect first with you, connect with what's going on around you, so that you get here and then you connect with what's going on here. So you have power to connect. You don't have to wait to be connected to, and you're also not entitled to be connected to. So like waiting for somebody to invite you, or waiting for people to notice you. Include yourself, connect, let yourself, and you connect first through your looping. You can connect inside, and you can connect with others. And play is exaggerate. I was doing this, I was sharing some of our persona play at someone's retreat over the weekend, and the instruction here is exaggerate your persona or your role. So much of what we're getting today in terms of creating more well-being is basically stop it, or calm down. And what I found is, if I'm in a persona, or like I'm pissed off about something, if I do it a little bit more and exaggerate it, then I begin to loosen the grip of it, rather than judging it, working on it, or getting separate from it. So let yourself just play with something that's annoying you right now and your response to it. And I'd like you to just exaggerate that in you. So it might be like this, or it might be like this, but just go ahead and exaggerate it for a moment. Yes, or you feel like you're trudging along through life, or you're trying to outrun, just go ahead and exaggerate that. And then shift your attention. Great, beautiful. And then just notice. See, even me just looking at what you're doing, I feel more of a sense of, there's more opportunities, more play. And then just notice, what does your body want to do after you've exaggerated? So what I can feel is that my shoulders want to shrug. I want to do a little wiggling. And I feel a loosening up. So exaggerating and then noticing what your body wants to do. You're interrupting patterns, which is a great form of play. So before we end for my part of today, I want to do some of Here I Am and I'm So Glad, because I am so glad. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for us. I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for community that we're creating and have created community. And I also want to let you know, friends of yours, people who want the experience of the nourishment of community, invite them to come. Show them a video of one of our gatherings so that they're welcome. So here I am, here you are, and I'm so glad. So, and what's your here I am today? Is your here I am like this? Is your here I am like this? Is your here I am like this? So here I am, and I'm so glad. It's a love scoop. So however you are, here I am, and I'm so glad. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And also feel free to share Here I Am and I'm So Glad with people, because I found that it just is so refreshing. People love it and feel connected to it and feel loved and appreciated. So take good care. Please stay and play, stay and share as long as you like. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Mwah. Take care, everybody.